this is a quickie arrangement of what we're going to be talking about today, which is our mounts. We just had a big sale on them over the Memorial Day weekend. So I figured we'd do a quickie little show on this about the do's and don'ts. So we're going to talk about our suction mount. We're going to talk about our easy clamp, quick releases, power supplies, our magic mount. We have a magnet mount, goosenecks, mirrors. So, but mainly it's about the mounts and interacting with our other products. So we'll start out with the easy one. This is a typical power supply, whether it's a mirror power supply, key light, eye light, all we call these bug power supplies. It just is on the wall. So do not, when you plug this in, this is a normal outlet receptacle that you would find in your house. So when you have that plugged into the wall, do not pry it out like this. You don't want to, because this little piece here can sometimes, with that pressure on there, you don't want to crack anything. So when this is plugged in, just pull it straight out. That's all it takes. When you're putting this away, we include with this a beautiful felt pouch, and all the adapters come with it. This has a Velcro strip on this for a reason. We have a lot of people, they end up fraying this connection right here because they're in a hurry. They take it and they just wrap this around the power supply itself, and you can see you're starting to bend that, and you start putting pressure and pressure and pressure, and you're pulling this and all those connections down inside the power supply. That's why we made this pouch big enough. Use your hand, you wrap it around your hand to get your donut, and then you use that Velcro. So you end up with the two pieces, and those go very easily and quickly down into the felt pouch. And then we have that stretchy connection there to close it. That's why this felt pouch is the size it is. You want to keep those as separate pieces, the power supply and the wiring. Because also as you're going around, you may pull the wires inside that thermal dimmer switch as well. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So on the suction mount, this is our new suction mount. If you guys have not experienced this, it is amazing. It is a suction mount. All suction mounts will eventually fail simply because no matter what you stick it to, we always say glass, mirror, things like that, it will fail eventually a month from now, let's say, because any molecules of air getting into this weakens it, it's going to fall. So we always use this as the temporary. You want to set this up for a day, for doing your job, a couple hours for a wedding, suction mount. Perfect, amazing, this is beautiful. We've seen these stay up for weeks on end. But do not use it on a mirror. I know there's someone I'm married to that uses this and uses her suction mount, and she loves to put her mirror on a suction mount. I do not recommend that. She's a risk taker, which is why she has an Academy Award, but I do not recommend that because of the weight of this, and it could pull the suction cup off here. You're probably not going to break the mirror itself. You're going to crush whatever's underneath it, whether it's makeup or glass or whatever. You might crack the mirror on it. And so we say, do not use a suction mount with a mirror. You want to put the quick release right on here and put your panel on here. So this is only designed for a key light or an eye light at this point. So just use this with key lights or eye lights by itself. We also do not recommend putting a gooseneck on. It will fit. You can put it on there, and a lot of people are like, well, I want it this far away, coming away from my mirror. But the problem is you're putting, it's law of physics. You can't escape physics in this world. So when you put a panel on here, you are pulling so hard on this, it will eventually just fall off of here because you're pulling that much weight. This 1 pound panel turns into 5-6 pounds this far away. And we cannot guarantee, I mean, it may stick up there at first and you go, hey, what's he talking about? But then a couple hours from now, it may fall and you may break something. We do not want that to happen. So we always, which is why we also went to this longer, amazing suction mount, is it does get you away from your surface a lot farther than the old suction cup did. We recommend always glass or mirror or plastic. to attach this to. It could be a picture frame or an actual picture of the glass that covers the painting, things like that. A mirror, a window. We do not recommend a wall, like a painted wall in your house. Anything with texture. Even wood is porous. Natural products are naturally porous. And because this works on suction, it's trying to draw air through whatever surface it's attached to. So if you have sheetrock in your house, or plaster, even if it's painted, it may stick for a minute, but it will fail because it's going to draw that air through that actual wall. Wood surfaces, it will draw the air through that wood surface. It's porous. So that's why we say we only recommend and suggest using this on glass, plastic, smooth metal, things that are non-porous. Next up, we're going to talk about, this is our easy clamp. We love these because, number one, they're easy. And a lot of people say, hey, what can I use this for? Be creative. All of our mounting systems, why we went the route we did, yes, everybody and anybody puts a light on a stand. That is the easiest thing in the world to do. It is not easy to be creative with lighting and say, well, where am I going to put this? I don't have a way to hang this. We've seen people use these in hotel rooms. They curl up the curtains, clamp this to the curled up curtains, and hang a light because they don't want a light stand, a trip hazard, in the way of the wedding party. So they just hang it up from that. They'll put this on chairs. This is a suggestion right here. So a lot of people will say, hey, I have a case, or I have a chair, or I'm somewhere, a shower curtain rod, and it's round. The problem with round is it's going to spin. You're not going to be stable on here. But like if you come to the end of this case, now you've got a vertical. You have this intersection right here. Now you are stable on here. So the other thing to do is when you have this on here, don't typically, a lot of people are like, well, they just want to put it straight out. They want to get this thing out there. The problem is, again, physics. You can't escape physics. It's going to pull. The strength is not. Yes, question.
Do all these mounts work on both the key light and the eye light?
Yes, absolutely. Key lights and eye lights will all come with the quick release already installed on it. So you don't have to worry about it. All you do is you move this piece right here. This is the male side of the quick release. We just have this screwed onto the easy clamp. I can move that to the suction mount. I can move it to a magic mount to hold the lights. I can put it on the end of a gooseneck to put it on a light stand. That's the only piece that moves is that. This always lives on the back of your light panel, whether it's a key light or an eye light. So if you put this on here, it's just going to weigh down. And yeah, you may do that. So we do a thing called mastering the curve. So I have this on here. I'm going to lock it so you can hear that click, and that's the quick release locking on here. So now it's not going to fall off of here. I'm going to turn this into an S curve so it's really stable. I don't want to do that from here. I could break the neck off this thing. So what you do is you're going to move everything from this gooseneck part of the easy clamp. So I can do this, and now I have an S curve. And it's simple, it's easy, and you can see it's on there. It is not going to fall, it's not going to fail. Lock this in, and then on this collar right here, it's firm, but it's loose enough I can manipulate this and do my fine adjustments, up, down, sideways, and it's not going to sag down. I can aim it a little bit. So that's fine. Don't lock this all the way down super tight and then try to move the whole thing. You can break that. The teeth inside, the collar, or that actual neck right there. So it's a two-part system, and it's meant to be delicate so that you can make those fine adjustments. The gooseneck, do whatever you want to with it. You can really just manhandle that thing and just move it around, create that S curve, create different shapes to get that stability. But for fine adjustments, just that collar, you want just enough tension. And we always suggest play with it. Just when you first get your lighting kits, or even if you've had yours for a while, practice. Just experiment. Hey, I wonder if I could do this. Hey, I wonder if I could do that. I could put it on a chair. I could put it on the retractable handle of a case, things like that. And just play with that at home, and then try things out, and then try it on your next job, and you'll impress the heck out of people. So this is our easy clamp. And then also along with this, do not put a gooseneck on the end of your easy clamp. It will fit, yes, of course, but don't do it because again, escaping physics, it's going to even be more, it's just going to collapse down. So you always want to use this by itself, create the S-curve, that gives you that stability, lock your panel on, and then you can do your fine movements. And this is not moving. As I move this around, so you can see I'm just barely moving that and it's moving. This doesn't move at all. This is locked now into place. We came over to the intersection, created the S-curve, and it's in place. This is our magic mount, which is really cool if you haven't seen one of these. That's it. It's a very, very thin little piece of plastic. And we call this our magic mount. And there's several ways to use this. Again, this does not work on suction. This simply works on adhesion and shear grabbing. It's called shear weight. So instead of being a suction that's why it's holding on, this has a little bit of tackiness to it, which is why we put the re-stick for reuse on it. So it doesn't. So you peel that off. This is the sticky part, and you literally you press it on and smooth it out, just like that. You know, from the center, you want to make sure your center spot is full in there, full good contact in the center. Smooth out any bubbles, you're on there. This guy has been on there, this has been over probably a year on here. Same thing, you just put your quick release on it, and there it is. Now another little wonderful cheat we have on this one is, there is no ball head on this one. A lot of people, if you are working, and so if I have this on my mirror and I'm using this ball head on here, when I come into the mirror really close, that light goes over my head because it's sticking away from the mirror. But if I want this as close to the mirror as possible, so even if I get very close, I'm still at least getting some light. I can put this is just the quick release. It's threaded right onto that center post. It's not glued. You can glue it if you want to. This one firms up in the vertical position and it'll just stay there forever. And this guy just sits right on the quick release and you're in business. Yes, question.
That's a good question. Can I use it in the wall?
On a wall, the best way to use things on a wall, because a magic mount may stick for a little bit onto a wall, and we've had people say, oh wow, I just stuck that right to a painted wall. But you may, when you peel, because these peel off, you can watch right here, and I will peel this guy off of here. The problem is, you may peel that paint right off the wall. If it's plaster, you may peel plaster off the wall. If it's a painted wood surface, it may stick and you may be good, but when you're done with that job, you go to peel that off, you may peel paint off that wall. So we don't really recommend the magic mount to stick, because it will stick and it may stay a while, but depending on the texture of the wall, the texture of the paint, all of that, it may fail, but the bigger worry is you're going to peel paint off that wall. If you, like a normal sheetrock wall, you just peel that off. You could peel paint off that. You don't want to do that in your client's house. But so again, we always recommend like a glass, plastic, mirror, things like that. A commercially painted metal, if this was a wider metal frame, it would be great for that. I can literally take this guy off, stick this, here's a window that goes to my hallway, and again, press in the center, press out the bubbles, and now you have that right there. And so it's a great quick solution, and I mean, it's on there. And then, but I can just literally, from the corner, it says peel to release. I can peel that off, and there's no damage to the window there, and then I can just put it right back on here, the re-stick for reuse, like that, and back in the kit it goes. And this guy was the one that was sitting right here, and I can lock that into place if I want to, and you can see how close that is to that mirror right there. I mean, it's right snug right up against it.
It's nice too to see the difference with the suction mount right behind it.
Yes. So the beautiful thing about this suction mount is how far away you can get this. It really projects your light farther out. So if you're working on someone, you want to project out, Suction mounts are great if you're working on yourself, you're traveling. Hotels have the worst lighting ever. Take one of our eye lights. Travel with it. Just take a magic mount, stick it on the back, travel with it, and you solve that solution immediately whenever and wherever you go. We also have what's called the magnet mount. And that's one of our newest pieces, and that's this guy right here. And this is one of our magic little stickies, but we put a magnet on it. And it comes with a little titanium disc that goes into your phone case. You can permanently stick it to your phone, or you can just slide it inside your case and very easily put that right there. If you're doing lives or something, you can put this magnet mount on the actual light. You can put it on a mirror. So I can peel this off of here very easily, put it right there onto the mirror, and I can do a live right there. It's just perfect, easy, beautiful. You can also put it on a window, any glass surface, just like the magic mount. And this is called our magnet mount. It comes with the discs to go on your phone. It comes with the sticky pad. It comes with the disc magnet. Everything you need just to be able to simply and quickly. Yes.
Will it hold an iPad?
It should hold an iPad. Yes. That's originally what some of the discs and stuff were designed for. So I don't know if it would hold an iPad Pro, one of those big new 15-inch big monster iPads. That'd be worth experimenting with. But it should absolutely hold a normal iPad. And we'd love to see a picture and everything. Yes.
This isn't a question. It's from Christian Romayo. He's one of our long time customers, and he just says, "I've been using my light for years and it's still working good, and he loves it." So
great. Yeah, that's always good to hear. Thank you so much for letting us know, because we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your experiences. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have any questions about, hey, will this work? Can I do this kind of a setup or that kind of a setup? Or if you have a great setup that you're proud of, like, hey, that person that sent us the thing about they twirled a shower curtain and shoved the clamp onto it, that's been great. It really inspires other people. And that's what we want to do, is we're creating this library of mounts and ways and solutions is really what we call them. Is what's a good mounting solution for all of our clients, whether you're a bridal makeup artist, a film makeup artist, because you all are in situations where a light stand may not be the best solution. The best solution, be creative and come up with ideas. You're creative people, and to think outside the box and say, hey, I can suction it to this, I can clamp it to that. Sure, I can always use a light stand. That's the easiest thing to do. Not a problem on this project, done. But we wanted to come forward and bring you as many quality mounting options as possible. And if you've got questions about, hey, I wonder if it would stick to that, ask us. If we got the similar type of product here or something, we'll try to stick it to a wall. We'll try to stick it if we haven't thought of it yet. We've tried cardboard boxes, all sorts of crazy stuff. Even like the magic mount. It's like, yeah, it'll stick, but it will fall off because it pulls those little fibers off. So there's lots of things to think about. So if you have a question, call us. We probably have already tried it and have an answer for you. But maybe we haven't, and we'd love to try that out so we can then come back and add it to our do's and don'ts list of how to use all of our mounting situations. Or solutions. Yes?
What do you think is the most versatile mount?
Oh, that is the most versatile mount.
It's like, which is your favorite?
Which is my favorite? This was my favorite, but now the new suction mount is my favorite because it's a lot simpler to use. It's a lot more powerful. It's got a longer neck on it. So this is my new favorite mount. They all have their limitations. Like, I can't put that on certain things. So some situations I can't do that, and this becomes the favorite because I can very quickly put this on a case or on a curtain or on a chair, things like that. Or I can go back to the old standby, a light stand. So they all have their place, and that's what the beauty of it is they're all interchangeable. You're just changing that one half of the quick release to whatever mount you decide is the best solution for you that day, and off you go. We're easy setup, easy tear down. There's no heat, so you're not like waiting for lights to cool down before you pack them away. All of our kits and bags, a lot of people progress from our standard totes. If you buy a starter kit, it may come in one of our non-woven totes, and they will progress and they'll go, you know what, I'm going to buy a pro bag now. And the pro bags are amazing. You can find them on the website, and it's just as you expand your lighting kit, it gives you more room for that, and then you can also carry makeup and other supplies in that pro bag as well. This was a conversation about the mounts, the do's and don'ts of TML mounting systems. So we talked about the suction mount, the easy clamp, goosenecks, and yes, when you get a gooseneck, it's going to come straight. It bends. So when you put it on that light stand, bend it to the angle you want that. That's the beauty of the gooseneck, is it goes onto the light stand and then it just bends to an angle to point the direction you want it to go in. So we talked about that. We talked about the magic mount, and then we also talked about the magnet mount as well. We also talked about power supplies, the do's and don'ts of using a power supply, how to store it, wrap it up to store it, as well as plugging and unplugging from the actual wall so that you don't cause any damage to the unit as you're wrapping it up and as you're plugging and unplugging. So hopefully, if you haven't joined us live, you're watching this on Instagram TV. And again, any questions, please call us, please write to us. We answer the phone, we answer emails. You can reach out on Instagram, on Facebook, and we answer those things because we want to hear from you. We want you guys to be happy and confident with your lighting systems. It makes you guys happier makeup artists, makes us look good, makes you look good. So hang in there with us. Give us your questions. If you have an idea for a live you would like us to do, products you want us to talk about, drop us a line. We'd love to hear that because we kind of cover what we know to cover, what we think you may want to know. But if you're like, hey, I really want to know this, let us know and we'll do one on that. And we'll build it into one of our lives coming up soon. But if not, then we'll see you next week, next Wednesday. We always come on at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays Pacific time. So have a great week, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.